for my research for this, I just watched one Dave Chappelle Netflix special.
Oh, yeah.
So
He is kind of like, we appreciate him and kind of spreading awareness about the community. We really do look up to him as a figure.
he's doing good work.
Yeah.
Welcome to Between Two Perns. My name is Jackson Dickert, and I'm here with best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author.
Oh my God, I know.
Aiden Thomas.
Hi.
That's exhausting.
It is exhausting. That's a perfect way to describe it, actually.
Now, you've been touted as the first openly trans author to reach the New York Times bestsellers fiction list with a main character who is trans.
Yeah.
When I was researching it, I also found this thing, whatever that is, but I'm not smart enough to make a joke about it. So.
Oh yeah, no, we don't talk about that with non-trans folks, so it's actually really inappropriate that you would bring it up. So, but it's okay. Yeah, it's all right.
Before we discuss the books that you've written, I want to discuss the books on your shelves.
Yeah.
On your website, it says you organize your bookshelves by color.
Yes.
Is that a prerequisite for being queer?
It's definitely part of like the little leaflet that they give you like during the like convention ceremony.
The onboarding.
The onboarding, yeah. And it's kind of, but there's some like the Capricorns and the Sagittarius, they do not like it.
Yeah.
So we kind of like look down on them a little bit, but it's like, it's not that bad, but it is part of it.
It's strange that you hold such liberal political values and yet you segregate by color in your own home.
Oh yeah, no, it's like, listen, we all have the sections of the community that we kind of like to parcel out.
Sure.
So it's, I'm sorry, I'm having too much.
I've never seen somebody so excited about segregation.
Here's the thing, like, I don't segregate by genre, you know what I mean? I'm really open-minded about that, but when it comes to color, you know, there's just a way that the rainbow works, and that's what I want to stick to.
Gotcha.
To be respectful.
Are all of the books on your shelves Animorphs?
A lot of them are, yes, which are actually kind of hard to color coordinate because the covers are very colorful, but the spines aren't as much. So there's kind of just this whole 3 shelves of kind of muddled green-brown. Okay. Which isn't great, but there is a lot of Animorphs that has a rather strong hold on my my personality and how I got into books.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, right. I mean, Animorphs, trans people, is it not the same thing? Think about it.
I couldn't comment, but based on what you've said, it sounds like yes.
Yeah.
You also have the word Latinx written all over your website.
Yeah.
Is that because it's your favorite Pokemon? Because I assume that Ditto would have been your favorite Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's really funny because Ditto is my favorite Pokemon. And that was really good actually. I have this like stuffed animal Ditto that like transforms into a Pikachu, and it's like one of the main things in my living room.
You wrote Cemetery Boys.
Yes.
Which was nominated for so many awards that I'm not going to bother mentioning them.
So many.
Mostly out of jealousy because I just don't like celebrating other people's victory.
Oh, that's fair, you're a Libra.
You openly admit online that you stole the idea for Cemetery Boys from Tumblr.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think you would have won more awards if you'd just written a wholly original idea instead of dredging the depths of Tumblr's rotting corpse for ideas?
Oh, I doubt it. I'm not that clever. It's always, my books are always some sort of inspiration from something. So Cemetery Boys was just a prompt that I saw that was, what did it say? It was, what would you do if you summoned a ghost and you couldn't get rid of it? And I liked that idea, and I was like, yeah, what if I summoned a ghost and I couldn't get rid of it? And what if he was really cute? And that was kind of the whole basis for Cemetery Boys. And like the Sunbearer Trials, which is my duology, that's just me stealing like Mexican Percy Jackson, The Hunger Games from Suzanne Collins, and then My Hero Academia, because I love a tournament arc. So it's all thievery.
There's a quote from Cemetery Boys that I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
That says, queer folks are like wolves.
Yes.
We travel in packs.
Yeah.
But in an interview with geeksout.org, you told them that you were afraid of wolves.
That's true.
Are you afraid of queer people?
All the time. Very intimidated by them, you know, especially because they travel in packs. It gets kind of scary. And wolves are terrifying. Queer people can't be terrifying.
There's parts of Cemetery Boys that are written in Spanish.
Yeah.
Any translations.
It's true.
How do you hope to connect with American audiences if the book isn't only written in American?
Oh, I don't. If people like it, that's great, but if they don't, that's just not my problem. I don't think about it that hard, I guess. Do you think about that a lot?
No, but
No.
it seems like maybe you just don't think that hard about anything.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I don't think that hard about a lot of stuff. Anyone could tell you that.
It's just part of the territory of being a man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, I had to be indoctrinated, and that was a really big one that they kept impressing upon me, and I was like, I got that whole non-thinking part down already, so.
I heard that you hung around Oakland, California's Mountain View Cemetery as a teen.
Yeah.
Is it true they banned you for life because you made some of the more bigoted ghosts feel uncomfortable?
My presence in cemeteries does piss off a lot of bigots. It's true.
After you die, do you plan on returning to haunt the ghosts that haunt the cemetery?
Oh my God, yeah. It's going to be the best. I love annoying people, especially bigots, and I think that'll be a really fun time. And it's like I hung out. I've spent so much time there already. It's basically like a second home. I think if like this light dropped on me and I was just like, I would just arrive there, Mountain View Cemetery. You could come and visit me. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Do a little seance or something. We could do another interview.
Another interview.
Yeah.
I'm so down for that,
I could
honestly.
answer so many more questions.
I think maybe we just expedite the process after this.
Yeah.
Because if we have somebody willing to be on the other side to
That's
communicate
true.
with someone on this side,
Yeah.
let's just figure out a way
know
out
what?
for you.
I think we could have a lot of fun with that.
I think we could too.
Yeah.
Texas legislators
Oh, yeah.
have proposed banning cemetery boys due to drinking, drugs, profanity, sex, and violence.
Yeah.
I spent some time researching the country of Texas and was disturbed about what I found. Your book is problematic, but it's far from Texas's biggest problem. In Texas, alcohol is advertised and sold in grocery stores. Drugs can be bought and sold in grocery stores. Profanity is all over the covers of tabloid magazines and the checkout line of grocery stores at children's eye level. Condoms are sold without an age requirement in Texas, and since condoms are the gateway to sex, children of any age could accidentally buy a condom and subsequently have sex.
It's true.
Finally, violent movies are sold in grocery stores.
Yeah.
Is Texas so preoccupied with cemetery boys that they're missing the real threat to the Texan youth? Grocery stores?
Clearly, yes, that is a big part of it. It's weird that the Zodiac Killer knows who I am. That's always kind of surprising.
Tell me a little bit more about you've interacted with Ted Cruz?
Oh, we haven't interacted, but he knows I exist. He was actually the one that brought cemetery boys to the legislature for being banned, excuse me. So that's, it's kind of weird when you know that there's like a notorious serial killer out there who like knows you exist and who's like really obsessed with me for some reason. I mean, I get it, but also
I was gonna say
it's uncomfortable.
It's kind of cool though.
It is kind of cool.
I respect you so much more now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got a serial killer after me. Hasn't got me yet.
You wrote the Sunbearer Trials,
Yeah.
which is described as Percy Jackson meets the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
What web browser do you use?
I use Chrome.
I kind of figured you still use AOL somehow, and for that reason, you're slow to pick up on the current trends because it's the only explanation I had for why you'd write a book that's a cross between Percy Jackson and the Hunger Games almost 15 years after the peak of their popularity.
Yeah, and you know what's wild? It hit the New York Times bestseller list for multiple weeks, so it worked.
In an interview for them.us,
Yes.
you said the thing you hope young queer readers take away from the Sunbearer Trials is to eat the rich.
Yeah.
Why are you openly condoning cannibalism to the vulnerable youth of today's turbulent modern world? They're impressionable. If Zoomers storm Jeff Bezos' compound and literally eat him, you're going to have blood on your hands.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool, right?
Would.
I would think I would enjoy it.
Oh, but
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Why?
I don't know. Just feels like
I think it's okay. I don't think people will miss billionaires that much.
I feel like human meat, low key though, has to be like the most delicious, right? Because
yeah,
it's
right?
got everything we need.
And it also, we eat delicious stuff, so why wouldn't our meat be like also really delicious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet my calf would taste pretty good.
If we take you out after this,
Yeah.
permission to...
You know what? Yeah, that's a really good idea. See, and that's what it's all about, right? Being really resourceful and like economical in the way that we use things throughout the world, which is why cannibalism of the rich is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We're solving like multiple problems at once. Hunger and, the plight of billionaires in the world. So it's not that bad.
You've pitched one of your upcoming books as Gay Titanic in Space.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't allowed to call stuff gay anymore. And why would you try to promote your book by saying it's bad Titanic in space?
Well, it's maybe a more archaic use of the word gay. And even more archaic than that would be like a really, gay as in like really happy and fanciful and free, which is what we might lean a bit more towards. But there also will be a lot of homosexuals, so. And
you're saying that they're bad?
Oh, some homosexuals are bad, yeah. Did you not know that? They're not all nice.
I thought they were all bad.
Oh, no, some of them are nice.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Will enter the public domain in our lifetime. When that happens, would you consider writing it to be more LGBT friendly?
I would absolutely steal Lord of the Rings IP. I mean, I've done it hundreds of times before, or hundreds of times. I mean, all of my books are just fan fiction that I trick someone into paying me for. And so I would love to do that with Lord of the Rings and just make it super queer. That would be really fun, I think.
Besides the obvious queer romance between Legolas and Gimli, what other changes would you make to have the most influential work of fantasy of all time be more inclusive?
Well, I think the most important and like the non-negotiable part is making Gandalf a drag queen, first off.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Come on, the theatrics that man does. It only makes sense. I also think it's really important to like consider and think about how the halflings, they feel very trans to me. You know what I mean? They're short kings, you know what I mean? So like that just makes sense in my head.
On one of your reviews for the Sunbearer Trials, the reader mentioned how they adored that non-binary characters like Oslo were allowed to be unlikable. They said, let young queer youth see themselves as the villain.
Yes.
I think this person brings up a great point, that representation across the entire spectrum of character is important, and Lord of the Rings has so much potential for taking advantage of this.
Such a good point.
For instance, I think you could give the Balrog a lot more depth by making them trans. It would give so much more impact to Gandalf's infamous line when he says, "You shall not pass."
Yeah, that's a really good point. And honestly, pretty rude of Gandalf if you think about it. I feel like Gandalf's a really big instigator in all of this. But yeah, I mean, the Balrog was just protecting his we don't know.
You don't know.
Territory. So it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think that's a really good point.
Thank you.
I'll put that in the book. Thank you for letting me steal that.
Though you're still early in your writing career, you've had an extremely successful professional career as evidenced by your extensive and detailed resume. For instance, you worked for Antec, a global consumer electronics company.
I did.
For 2 years as a rebate communications assistant.
Yeah.
Your resume specifically mentions that you kept meeting schedules, organized events, and assisted CEOs with tasks.
It's true.
Are you aware that from the time you started working there to the time you quit, their stock price tripled?
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
I didn't know that, but it makes a lot of sense. All of that data entry I did really made an impact.
After you left, this is true. Their stock price didn't recover to its former peak for almost a decade. Do you think you might have made the wrong choice in becoming an author and that you weren't better suited as a rebate communications assistant? Because it seems like you really made a difference in the CEO's paycheck when you were in that role. Was that not really fulfilling for you?
No, I hated the CEO actually, and kind of all of the C-suite executives in general. So no, that actually brings me great joy that Antec, just didn't do that well after I left. And it makes a lot of sense. A lot of people depend on me.
Yeah.
Bright, sunny presence in the office. When that leaves, what do? We just get sad. So that adds up, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they suffered that loss. And they laid me off, so it wasn't even my choice.
The fools.
I know. Look what I was doing for them.
Yeah. And then you worked for Adobe for almost 3 years as a facilities coordinator.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. During that time, yet again, their stock price tripled. Please tell me that your publishing deal includes stock options with Macmillan, or are you just excited to help line Macmillan CEO's pockets too?
I like to kind of spread the wealth around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in publishing, I at least like my publisher a lot. So I kind of feel good about helping them out,
That's so cool of you.
Yeah. I'm very kind.
Well,
and thoughtful.
I would agree, but you know what's worse than having a massive subreddit with hundreds of thousands of members?
What?
Having a subreddit with exactly one member.
What's the subreddit called?
It's kind of messed up that a fan made you your own subreddit, r/Aiden Thomas, and you haven't joined it yet.
Oh my God.
Do you hate your fans?
I didn't know that it existed. Of course I love my fans. I would, of course, have joined that. I should join it, actually.
Yeah,
and then there'll be two of us.
There'll be two of you.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that'll be a really thriving and successful subreddit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of your fans, are you excited to have the let me speak to your manager moms as an ally once they discover that calling married women by their maiden name is essentially just dead naming them? There's a specific demographic of white women that's going to be thrilled to have something new to be offended over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always looking to kind of reinvent the wheel, right, of what offends white women.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for new and creative ways. It's a big part of the job, I would say.
Something you had in your bio actually really offended me.
Oh, okay.
You bragged that you're really good at killing spiders.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting.
I live for the thrill of it, though.
I'm so sick of today's arachnophobia in
Yeah.
society. Let's just get down to the meat of your beef with spiders.
Yeah.
Why don't you think spiders should be allowed to get married?
I don't think that they're built for it, frankly. You know?
No, I don't know.
Because... It's so hard to keep a straight face. I think it depends on the spider. I think that they should have to apply, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, show that they've been contributing members to society and whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they probably shouldn't have kids. So, next question.
In the first episode of Between Two Perns,
Yeah.
I chatted with Brandon Sanderson about magic systems.
Cool.
He's created magic systems for colors, drinking metals, rock stacking, and so much more.
Yeah.
I wanted to ensure that I could at least create one unique magic system in my books before
Okay.
he did. So I patented hormone-based magic systems to use in a future novel. It doesn't sit right with me, though, patenting a magic system that you already use in real life.
It's true.
So I just wanted to let you know that you have my blessing to use hormone-based magic systems in an epic fantasy novel if you ever decide to write one.
Thank you. I would have taken the idea anyways, but I appreciate it. That was the funnest interview I've ever had in my life, dude.